Alright guys, welcome back to Shift Points. How are you? It's a few days after Thanksgiving now, and well, to be honest, we're getting our butt kicked by the 55 truck right now. We have the fuel tank fixed, which is nice. Our good friend Brad Taylor took care of that for us. It's ready to go back in, but we got to figure out a strap system to get that put in. And then we started working on figuring out why those tapered bearings keep eating themselves. And so we're right in the middle of that. And honestly, we didn't have that much. We definitely didn't have a full, concise video to go out this week. So I thought we would do a holiday greatest hits episode. So I want to try and give you guys an update on a few of the projects that we have here on Shift Points. The square body 86 Chevrolet Truck, my Galaxie, my friend Matt at Shipbox Galaxy. I think he's going to have an aneurysm if I don't give him some sort of update on that car, or at least let him see it, because it's been a minute since I've done anything with it. So this week we're going to give an update on those two cars and do a little bit of an update on the 55 and on the 55 truck itself too. So just a quick update. And the big thing is if you've never been here on the channel, you'll know a lot of the things that we've worked on over the past few years, and hopefully you will enjoy it enough that you're going to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of this. So let's jump right into our number one project here on Shift Points. Not number one in our hearts, probably last on the list pretty much, to be honest with you, my 86 Chevrolet Truck. So jump in and kind of give you a greatest hits clip of a few of the high spots of these trucks or cars over the past few years while we've been working on them. So don't miss out on that, because that's pretty fun. It's going to be fun. You're going to see a much younger me and a much worse quality video and a worse sound quality on some of these, especially on the 55 truck. Here it is. It's sitting here in a little bit of no man's land, and unless you were probably really paying attention to some of the shorts that I put up, you will have wondered where the heck this truck was for the end of the summer. And you know, because pretty much all the time this is my daily driver truck. Whenever it's summer, wintertime comes, it starts snowing, I try to not get it out because it doesn't have any rust in this truck, and I really don't want to get rusty because I really like this truck. I've had it since October of 2018, and I have piddled and done a ton of different stuff to this truck over that time period. Some of those videos on our channel have done as well. Some of them have the most views of any video of our channel, a handful of those actually, 2 or 3 of those videos, including putting drum brakes on the back of it, the intake manifold, and our Holley Retro Bright headlights that we have in this thing. This thing has some really good pieces on it to kind of be on the outside. A little bit of people think it's a bit of a junk box, but that's just because I spray painted a bunch of stuff on it. That's on me. My parents hate it, but hey, you know, that's how it goes. But the reason that this thing disappeared back in the summer was it blew a head gasket, and it's pretty much been sitting parked since. Let's open the hood. All right. If we pop the hood here, you will see a little 305 small block. Again, some of the videos that we've done in here, and you can tell this thing's been set parked because there's literally spider webs all inside of it. Oh, sorry, little truck. If you look here, there's almost no coolant in the bottom of our puke tank here. And if we pull this off, yeah, she's still awfully low. I think some of what you see in there is where we tried to use some K-Seal to fix it up, and it did not work. It just continued. I drove it after the fact, and it smoked like a freight train. So the culprit is number 7 back here. When we took that spark plug out, it literally just vomited antifreeze out of it. We took that out and let it drain, turned it over, unplugged the distributor, turned it over and blew everything out of it. And then we tried to put K-Seal in it, tried to drive it after the fact, warmed it up, did a couple different things to it. But at the end of the day, the little 305 of the head gasket is definitely killed. So the question is, and you need to jump in the comments and tell us, do we just pull the heads off of this, take like a day, put head gaskets on it, or do we just go ahead and put together the engine and the transmission that we're going to put in this thing and stab it in it. The transmission is also on the verge of being junk as well. That Turbo 350 is very slippy and it's a little concerning. So that's for your information. Jump in the comments and tell us, and then we'll get into what the plan is for this truck in the long run. Now, to replace that 305 that's going in that truck, we have this 350 engine. This engine was built by a cousin of mine who ended up never actually using it, and so I bought it from him. I found these gold Moroso valve covers for it, which I just love. They came with these spreader bars and the breathers and all of that, and I actually have the air cleaner, but it's on my Galaxie right now. I found this RPM air gap Edelbrock intake for it, I think on Marketplace, and we have a few other parts and pieces that we've made up for it. But that engine is going to go into that truck at some point. And the other thing about this truck, if you notice it when we open the door, it's only got 2 pedals, and it really needs 3. I have an entire, all the pieces of an American powertrain kit to put the TKX Tremec 5-speed in this truck. Literally every piece of it. I bought the entire kit. It's just been sitting in storage for, I don't know, a couple years now. So I've got the transmission, clutch, I got the pedal, got everything to swap this thing over from an automatic to a straight drive, which I think is going to up, much like the 55 truck, I think it's going to up the coolness level by a factor of like 100 when we put a stick in it. So like I said, this thing is a little sad. I'm actually, like, wintertime comes with this truck and it always makes me sad because it just sits here, but the fact that it's been sitting here even longer broken is also upsetting. You will see a trend in this little list of cars that we're doing in that almost all of them are disassembled or broken right now. And it's just prioritizing certain ones over the others until we kind of get them all done. So that is the update on the little square body. While this truck is not the lowest truck in the world by any means, it's all static dropped. It's not on airbags or anything. We actually bought this truck this way. It has low ring spindles on the front, and they've actually put a flip kit in the back. But it sets really perfectly. It's really what I want, so we haven't messed with it. But anytime you have to work on it, you have to break out these ramps that Dad made out of 2x4s, and it's a perfect step to where you can actually get the jack under the air dam. So that you can actually do something to this truck. Well, I think it's safe to say that this is the original valve. I got the heat shield pulled off of it, and you can see there, that does there's a lot of stuff going on there. So we'll bring in our second brake shoe and hook it right there, just like that. Now we're gonna take our kit had a new adjuster in it. So we'll take our adjuster, turning that wheel towards the rear of the truck, and spread that spring, and seating that adjuster in place there. Get clearance there. Okay. Now we go ahead and make sure that our shoes are up here on our push rods that come out of the wheel cylinders here. We make sure that those hook these square notches on our brake shoes. We're gonna make sure that those are there. And now these are very crooked. There we go, like this. Now the next thing we gotta do is our assembly that we put together over there on the bench. Check behind me here, make sure there's nothing coming or anything like that. And what I'll do is I'll ride this thing right at 45, and I'm not gonna just like slam on the brakes, but I'm gonna hit the brakes and just let this thing come to a stop. We'll take back off. And now what we'll do is we're gonna make sure that we let those brakes get really good and cool, back cold, probably I would say 30 seconds to a minute of driving, get it back cool again. And we're gonna do that again. We're gonna do that process about 10 or 12 times. Now next up is Dad's 55 Chevy. If you guys have followed us, that's kind of the core heart of the channel and what we're trying to work on this year. This car, the plan is to continue the work on it. We have a ton of videos on the channel already. You can kind of catch up on those and see where we are at this point. But basically next steps on it, we need to add a few, weld a couple more tabs to the chassis itself, and then we're going to finish stripping everything out. We're going to take it to our friend that does paint and body stuff. He's going to paint the chassis. So you can see there's been tubes that have been added in here, kind of have some surface rust on them. He's going to take care of all that. He's going to get all this painted, and it's going to go to him. That's basically the next plan, next step for this car. But we'll go into some more detail on the build itself. This is a big tire car. We got a Dana 60 in the rear end, for the rear end. Dad has upgraded the 4-link tubes already. We're probably going to change out that seat, get a different seat for us at some point. And of course we're getting the big block, which I'll show you here in a minute, and the Lenco. Now that car is getting a big block Chevy. We have the block here, and a lot of the parts and pieces for that car were bought in the late 90s or early 2000s. You can go and watch the episode where I actually interview Dad and tell kind of the history of that car. I'll tag that in there. We're probably almost a year removed from that at this point. But that's going to get this big block Chevy in it. It's sitting here ready to go. We have the cylinder heads done and everything too. So pretty soon, as soon as we can get back to work on that car, this engine is going to go to our friend Brad Taylor, who's going to assemble it for us. And hopefully, at the point, we're going to try and time it where at the point that he gets it assembled, we can set it in the car, do final plumbing and wiring, and it will be ready to fire up and go to the racetrack. As for what we have done to that car already, we have all of the sheet metal done. Again, this is something you can see on the channel. Dad built the headers for it a long time ago. That's a trick titanium bell housing for it. That's some more sheet metal that goes in the car. We have all the brake lines done. We have a good significant portion of the fuel system already built and ready to go. The only thing we have left is the stuff basically from the regulator to the engine. So a lot of the fuel system's done. We have a lot of things done on that thing. And of course we have the legendary Lenco, which is the reason for the Shift Points Lenco logo that we use all the time. Is that guy right there. Pro Stockers from the 70s. This is just it's a piece that Dad has wanted for many years, and that thing's been here since the late 90s. I think it got here in 99, and it's literally never had grease in it. It is still brand new, never been run. That has to change this year. It has to. And if it's your first time here, the goal for this car is 4s, any sort of 4 in the 8th mile. So hopefully we can jump into that here very soon. We can get digging on it. First good spring day of 2026, we're having this thing at the racetrack. Fingers crossed.
Okay, in Mooresville, I can't remember the date. I've got the time slip and I've got it on video somewhere. The car ran a 547 for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months before I sent the converter back to ATI. The car dropped about a 1/10, and I plugged and done all the normal tune-up stuff trying to find that 1/10. Went through the valves and checked compression and done all that stuff, but anyway, still off 1/10 to 1300s, and ended up sending the torque converter back to ATI. They sent me back, I've still got the box of stuff over there, they sent me back what was broke in the torque converter, which you could not tell. It was off about a 1/10, a little over a 1/10. So anyway, I got the torque converter back, got it back in the car. We went to Mooresville the next weekend. The car ran a 547 on motor. That was ideal conditions. That was real good air. I had a real decent set of tires on it, which is part of the reason the car wasn't any quicker on nitrous. The tires were more slap out. Anyway, 547 on motor, and that's under, like I said, under ideal conditions at Mooresville. And Mooresville was notoriously hard hooking, good working racetrack. So that was the quickest it ever went on motor. Then we started putting the nitrous to it, and the tires were wore out. Brad Taylor was with us through a lot of this stuff. I'll mention him. He helped us. He worked on his car. He helped us work on the car and went with us a lot to the racetrack. He was a big benefit to us, big help to us. But we worked on the car, got the nitrous. That's you don't know my wife. You'd have to know my wife. But this, when we were fighting at nitrous, the first 3 or 4 passes, the nitrous never come on, and we thought we had went through everything. Gene said, "I don't think that throttle switch is working." Well, all of us, yeah, the throttle switch is working, you know. So, well, it turned out it was a throttle switch. The next pass, it fired and done what it's supposed to do. But anyway, I made a few passes with the nitrous, and again, I was way overdue for a set of tires, which really hurt the car.
Hey, while I give you guys this update on the channel and all the cars that we have on it, it'd be really cool if you check out our store. We've got a lot of different t-shirts, a lot of different stickers and logos out there, and we would love to get more of those out into the wild, get them out into y'all's hands. I'm hoping to get these Ryer Morrison sweatshirts, tribute sweatshirts up pretty soon, and some t-shirts as well. But we already have a bunch of stuff, including that really cool Shift Points Lenco logo that I just is absolutely my favorite thing. So make sure you check that out. We'd appreciate you guys so much if you did it. Let's get back into it. Number 3 on the list is our 55 Chevy truck. Yes, it is a 55 Chevy. There was a first series and second series 55 Chevy in the trucks. This is the first series. It looks a lot like a 54. There's a handful of differences in them. One being this badge here. Another one is an open drivetrain, one is a closed. I can never remember which one. But this one looks a lot like a 54, but it is a 55. We have the paperwork for it, I promise. This truck has a bone stock 5.3 in it. It has the bone stock 4L60. It has a Ford 9-inch, which you can see is out and on the table again. We continue to have problems with that, but we're making do with it. We'll get it fixed. This truck, of course, has our QA1 triangulated 4-link in it. So you can see we've got our double adjustable shocks. That has what has helped this rear suspension just be so much better than the old leaf springs. You can see our lower bars are hanging there, our upper bars are hanging there. The upper bars are triangulated, the bottom ones are straight. That's what keep those triangulated upper bars, or what keep the rear end centered in the truck. That's what we did before we left on Six Smokies for this thing. There's a whole slew of videos on all of that as well. If you guys would like to check that out, you're more than welcome to. This is the very first thing that we ever built on Shift Points. Took it on Power Tour in 2023. And if you want to see the most recent stuff, we took it on Six Smokies and just had an absolute blast. Drove this thing 1,700 miles, run our best pass was an 882, I believe, in the 8th mile. Again, all of this stuff's bone stock. We would love to, at minimum, put a very good camshaft in that engine, maybe do some work on the heads. We would love to put a straight drive transmission in this, ditch the 4L60. I don't know if that's going to happen, when that would happen. We think it'll eventually happen. We have no idea when. But we would love to put a good straight drive in this truck, because I think it would just up the coolness factor by like 100. But at this point, bone stock 4L60, that's going to have to change. Let's be honest, that thing is a grenade with pin pulled, and we are happy it's done as well as it is done, but we think if we start putting any more power to that engine, it's gonna grenade itself at some point. Again, I won't go into a ton of detail on this truck because we have a ton of things coming, including, again, fixing that rear end over there, fixing the rear brakes, fixing our fuel tank, and getting it remounted in a way that will keep it from leaking, hopefully. And we would definitely love to be taking this truck on some more drag and drives and kind of making that our easy driver drag and drive event truck. But let's see how that goes. If that sounds interesting, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out that, because that's going to be coming next up on anything that we do. You saw last time we were getting everything wrapped up on the wiring for it, for this truck. Something that we've started using in the past couple wiring jobs that we've done is this, it's like a braided, it's not really a split loom, like the old plastic loom that you see that's always so ugly. It's kind of almost a fabric material, and it splits it open, allows you to run your wires down through it. It's nice in a couple ways. It's not as ugly as the plastic split loom and all of that. It's a lot more flexible, so you can route it a lot easier. It comes in a bunch of different sizes. This is some of the smaller stuff. Goes all the way up to 3/4 and more. So all the wires that are coming out of the firewall and going forward to the headlights and things like that, with the horn and the headlights and the fan power and all of that, it's a big loom of wires that's going that direction. So that's using the 3/4, and then you can route all the way down the frame and use that stuff for the rear taillights and stuff like that too. So we really like using this stuff. Makes things a lot easier. I'm going to try and use it and go ahead and get everything wrapped up under the dash here. I think we have everything ready. We just got to hook up the battery cables. Just see what happens. Oh man, you have me nervous now.
Check under the hood, make sure we got no leaks.
That's where I'm going. Oh, we got a leak. We got a leak.
Turns over.
Any fuel oil pressure?
Haven't done yet.
Rough. Oh, gross. That is dead gas.
That's the problem.
Shoot.
That thing's been set full.
Get the fuel. What's just coming out? Green.
Mm-hmm. It smells so nice.
Oh, rough. We're back again. It's gonna start this time. He doesn't like it when I say that, but it's gonna start this time. We've got fluids back in, we've got the heater core back in it, we've got all the injectors back on it, fuel rails back on it. So now battery's already hooked up. We've got transmission fluid here ready. We've still got the 4-course we put in it, but it looks like it's almost full already, but we'll see how it, after it runs and everything. So next thing we're gonna do is just go in here and flip the switch on and see if it primes and then see if it starts. So that's what I'm gonna go do. Alright, I'll watch everything. Get up here. Today is the day we are heading down to Atlanta. We just left Weaverville. We've got the whole crew behind us. Brian Ramsey, Brian Silvers, handful of others, Toby Hollifield, Casey Hollifield, all them. We got a pile of people with us. There's probably, I don't know, about half a dozen or so of us heading out this way. Just gonna head down that way, kind of cruise around, kind of see what see how everything goes for everybody. It's nice to have a kind of a group together with you, because you can kind of you support each other where you need to. I just hope it keeps going that way, because it's I know we're having a good time, and the truck's doing good, and all of that good stuff. So I'll keep you guys up to date on all the different towns and stuff we go through as we kind of go through them, and show you that as we roll. Official. We are punched in. I know I have this ridiculous hat on. We're punched in, going over to get our long haul plaque. We've made it. So what's next? We've already talked about it on the trip home. We were already talking about what's next, what we're gonna do. First up, there's a few things that we've got to kind of wrap up on this thing to get it better. Got to fix that brake pedal. Got to fix that fuel leak at the fuel neck. Few little odds and ends that just need to be better, like the right side of the passenger seat's kind of broken down a little. That's going to wait till winter, of course. We're not going to break the truck down for that. But there's things that can improve, and things that we would have never found if we hadn't taken the 1,200-mile road trip, and things that will just make that truck that much more enjoyable to drive and that much safer, especially with the fuel leak. We are at Greer Dragway for a test and tune. It's a Thursday night. This will be my first pass at the drag strip ever.
Say, go daddy, go.
Your right lane, 952.80.
All right, so next on our list here is my '64 Galaxie. This thing, it's much like the C10 truck. It makes me sad to see it, because it was together and running not that long ago, and now it's here in a bajillion pieces. Let me tell you why. So this car was left to me by my great uncle, Richard Freeman. It was bought new in Marshall, here in the town that we live in. This car is very original, very. That's the original paint, that's the original hood, that's the original everything. We did a few things to it. We've added power brakes, we added disc brakes all the way around it, put a new exhaust system in it, put a retro sound system in it, which is really great. It was really awesome working with them. Those are the original seats, the almost all original interior. I did put new carpet in it, some new floor mats, some new I actually put seat belts in the back as well. So you can see that guy, it is very, very original. And including in that is the original 390 that was in this car, and the original top loader that was in this car as well. So he's sitting right there. We did a couple of videos on kind of inspecting this engine and seeing what we found out about it. You can check those out if you'd like. And then what we found was there is not much wear on this block. And basically we believe that we're going to be able to dingleberry hone this and get this thing back on the road. Cat. So the plan is, because this car is so ridiculously stock, and I hate to like butcher it, even though like my heart tells me to put a big block Chevy in this and just make Matt throw up and make other Ford guys mad, I'm not going to do it. All right, I know I keep joking about it, but I'm not going to, I don't think, unless I find one at a good deal. This one's going to get dingleberry honed. We're going to polish the crank, and we're going to get a few better pieces from the stuff that we have here. I do have an aluminum Edelbrock intake for it back there. So all of that is going to basically go back together, and we'll probably just make sure everything's good with the transmission and throw it back in there as well. The only thing that probably will change, because this thing does need a new clutch, I probably will just eliminate that Z-bar junk that I really don't like how that works and trying to get it back in. And honestly, at this point, it's been so long since I took this thing apart, I don't even know if I could get it back in. We're going to probably put a hydraulic clutch in this thing. Just a guess. I think that's probably how that'll end up being. So that's the big thing with this car. I'm hoping to get the parts together for that engine over the winter, and maybe while we send the 55, I told you that thing's going to get the chassis painted in it. While we have that out, maybe get enough parts together on it to go ahead and get this thing reassembled. Maybe not fully back together, but at least get the engine ready to go, because once it's ready to go, little cleanup on the transmission and we're ready to just put this thing back in and it's a driver. And then next summer we've got something that me and the wife and the kids can all go chug-a-lug around in and visit some car shows and do those things, even though I'm not a big car show guy, to be honest with you. But, you know, maybe we can go ride the Blue Ridge Parkway again and not have it like make terrible noise and smoke screen everyone that's on it. If you guys haven't seen that, you can ride in the Blue Ridge Parkway right there in this thing. Welcome to Shift Points. Got the point set, everything's back together, got the cap back on it, so we're gonna try and start this thing again. Alright. Out of gear, you ready? Oh, hook the battery up. It might make a little difference. Alright, try again. Fired right up. I don't have a gauge. I don't have an oil pressure gauge. No, the oil light's not on. There's a light, but no gauge. Huh. 18 years at least since this thing last ran. We got the condenser in it, man, that thing just fired right up. That's pretty incredible, actually. Thought there would be more, thought we'd have to do more to get it going. Dad said the exhaust on this thing was pretty terrible. He's right, it don't sound very good.
Got a water temperature gauge?
Yeah.
Don't have a water temperature?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Out of here real quick. You got it to idle too.
I turned the idle up on it.
Oh, did you? Any water in it?
I don't think so. No, better get it out.
Okay. Pretty good.
It lit right up.
Yeah, it did.
Generally, always a condenser is what causes them things.
Well, I really messed it up this time. I told you guys we broke the heads off 3 of those bolts. So we had taken them, and I think I showed you guys, but we took and sprayed that Gibbs on them. I mean, just saturated it, let them sit there for a while. Got this one out. This one was broke, that one was broke, and that one was broke, which you can still see that one's back there. This one came out no problem. This one, messed with it once, kind of moved a little, so we sprayed some more Gibbs on it, and then when I put the vice grips back on it, just barely touched it, didn't even put any pressure on it really, and it snapped, and that thing is flush. Don't know if I can get the camera down here, but you can see that it is completely flush with the cylinder head. And so we've thought about it a little bit and kind of trying to plot a little bit, but we think what we'll do is detach the Z-bar back here so we don't mess with the clutch, unbolt this side of the engine, see if we can jack the engine up over here, take out this is like a cardboard dust cover kind of thing, dirt relief, and we think if we can jack the engine up here and move this, we can get through here through there and possibly get to where we can center punch this. Well, we can center punch it good, we can drill it and potentially back this out either with an extractor or with a drill bit or something. But we need to spray some more Gibbs on this before we head out anyway. And then that one, we're gonna make sure we put some heat on it before we ever touch it and see if we can put enough heat on it that it'll just come out. Because if we break that one, like Dad said, we're pretty much gonna have to pull the motor out of it. Pulled the plug out of number 5, the front one on this side. You can see, whew, what a terrible mess that this thing is. So this is probably where our little mist that we've had lately is probably coming from. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these pulled out of this side and see what they look like. All right, we made it. Jackson got a good video of us coming in. I'll have to double check that one, but yeah, we're here. The old North Wilkesboro. We are in turn 3 and 4 over here. So the track runs downhill, runs down to 1 and 2. That's where me and Dad sat when we were here a few months ago. So it's looking like they're having a pretty good turnout already. So that is the those are the project cars. I know you see this 55 over here to the right. It's so far away, I'm not even gonna think about telling you about that, other than we would love for it to be a straight drive, drag and drive car. Big block, straight drive, drag and drive car, which would be so cool. But that is way, 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 way away. Unless you guys start watching a lot of videos, that's a good ways away. So we're going to put that one on the back burner for a long time now. But basically, in order, the 55 has got to be at the racetrack. First good spring day, it's got to be back. It's got to make a pass. It's got to have that Lenco have oil in it and us pulling gears. It's got to happen. It's got to go fours. Those are really important. Priority number 2, I'd really like to get this thing back to where we can just put around in it and drive it. Maybe take it up and see Matt in Indiana. That would be really cool. He's just outside of Chicago. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a heck of a drive for this thing. Number 3, we definitely have to get the 55 truck. Actually, I should probably swap those. The 55 truck has to at least be rolling. We need to be able to take something to the drag strip if we want to. Or 666 is coming next year. I've already filled out the expression of interest form. I would really, really love to do that, depending on what the dates end up being. 100th anniversary of Route 66 in the 55 Chevrolet truck while you drag race. It doesn't get any better than that, I don't think. So let's say that one needs to be back going probably even first. That is going to go back first. Then the 55 car, then the Galaxie, and then that truck also needs a stick in it. And then at that point, if we do everything right, all 4 of our big projects, and maybe 5 if you see the 55 over there, all of those would end up having straight drive in them, and we would really live up to our Shift Points name. Make sure to check out our website. I'm hoping to get these hoodies on there here pretty soon. I have some other of our Grumpy Jenkins tribute logos. This is our Morrison tribute. I have a few of those that I'd love to get on there and get it to where you guys can get some t-shirts and sweatshirts of those made. I'm one man. I've got 2 YouTube channels and a life. Well, not much of a life, but I have a wife and a kid at home, so got a lot going on. So I try to get those in there as soon as possible because I would love for you guys to get some of those and be repping the Shift Points, because I just absolutely love these little throwback retro logos that we came up with for Ryer Morrison, Grumpy Jenkins, and Sox and Martin. So if you have time, check out our website. That would be pretty cool too. It's really good. If you guys would hit subscribe, we would really appreciate it. It helps us grow. And when you get done with this video, just jump straight into the next one. There should be something. There's hundreds of videos on our channel now of all of this different stuff. So make sure you do that. Make sure you come back next week, and hopefully by then we have figured out what's wrong with those tapered bearings on the 55 Chevrolet truck, and you'll be able to see that, figure out what we figured out. Dad actually called me while I was videoing this, and I think he figured out the issue, but we won't know until we actually put it back together and see how it goes. So make sure you do that, and we'll see you guys next week. We appreciate y'all.